This is Pod Populi, podcast for the people.
Hey there, and welcome to the Cinnamon Effect podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly, and I'm thrilled to have you with me on this vibrant journey of discovery and growth. This podcast is your go-to space for embracing intention, where you'll find clarity on your unique path, deepen those meaningful connections, and unleash your creativity like never before. We'll explore how to build unshakable confidence and celebrate the beauty of gratitude, all while savoring the calm that consistency brings to our lives. Thank you for being with me. Let's sprinkle a little cinnamon into your day and make life sweeter, healthier, and more fulfilling. Welcome back to the Cinnamon Effect. I'm Kimberly, and today I'm here with Anna Fink. She's a wellness architect and lifestyle designer who is pioneering an innovative path in the wellness space. She has created a body of work called Embodied Wellness, designed to transform the body, mind, and soul. Embodied wellness is both science and spirituality, art and alchemy. In essence, it is where wellness and personal growth collide. Welcome, Anna.
Thank you so much, Kimberly. It's such an honor to be here. Thank you for the honor of being featured on your show.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here, and you're joining us from New Mexico. We were just talking about that.
I am.
I want to dive into embodied wellness, and what is that?
So I love this question, and it's been such a personal journey. So embodied wellness is what I call a collection of art, as you mentioned in the intro, of all these different modalities to support people in reconnecting to their body and reclaiming their health and becoming who they're here to be. So for me, it was my own personal journey with different health conditions, reproductive health issues. I lost my period for 3 years, was dealing with severe adrenal fatigue, walking with my mom with her journey with chronic illness and autoimmune conditions that led me to veer away from the path of medicine that I was on. I had been accepted to medical school, and I started to feel like there was so much more that we weren't talking about with patients when I was working in clinics and with doctors. And I felt like I needed to go deeper. I wanted to have more of that spiritual approach. I wanted that connection and focusing on lifestyle and meditation and all of these different elements of wellness, which are so important. So I started to heal myself naturally and focused on my physical health, and really went down this path of nutrition and psychology and spirituality. And through that journey, found all of these other modalities like human design and breath work and yoga and neuro-linguistic programming and all of these things that really I just applied to myself and my own journey, and I healed myself naturally. I didn't have evidence, but I became the evidence. And then it made me so aware of how many women, especially women, are dealing with reproductive health issues, chronic illness, autoimmune conditions. And it became my purpose to then share what I had learned and what I had created with others. And that became embodied wellness. And it really is an empowerment journey, and it's personal growth, and it's wellness all together.
Wow. And you're right. So many people, we talk about it a lot on the show, dealing with autoimmune issues. When you were going through kind of a health crisis like that, and the light bulb goes off and you're like, this doesn't feel right. Where do you start? Like, where did you start maybe in your own personal journey, if you want to talk about that? Like, what's the first thing if someone is just not feeling, that the traditional medical route is for them? And what is something that you did in the very beginning that really kicked off your healing journey and realizing that you were on the right path to heal yourself?
Absolutely. Yes. So I think a lot of us have been taught that when there's something painful, we turn to medication. It's like, oh, I'm feeling this, I'm going to take this med. It's the symptomatic suppression that we're dealing with. It's like, oh, I don't want to feel this pain, or I'm dealing with this symptom. I kind of disregarded it, took a pill and let it go. But then as things progressed and the symptoms became more and more obvious, I realized how much I had normalized these symptoms that actually aren't normal. And because symptoms are so common, we've normalized them. And so for someone beginning, what was so powerful for me was my lifestyle, the food, hydration. Something so simple can be incorporating more hydration into your lifestyle, filtered water with lemon juice, or focusing on eating more whole plant-based living foods that are creating that radiance and vitality from within, and really being mindful of the choices we're making, because in each moment we're either coding our body for survival or for creation.
And that is where you talk about, what do you call it? Your preconception era. What is that? And talk about that and why it's important for single women, married women. What is this preconception era? So intrigued.
Okay, yeah. So the preconception era was inspired by Dr. Afrustamary, who coined the term trimester zero, which is the time before a woman gets pregnant. And she focuses on the 3 months prior to that conscious, intentional conception. For me, my preconception era has been a period of over 2 years. I'm single right now. I'm not in partnership, but I am intending to have children one day. I've become so aware of these symptoms and reproductive health issues and, symptoms like PMS, bloating, acne, all of these things that we experience when we're menstruating or ovulating that aren't normal. And so for me, it's this time where you devote yourself, your time, your focus, your energy to becoming the woman you're here to be, making that transition from maiden to mother. Or if you've already had children, really preparing yourself for a strong, radiant pregnancy. And so it matters wherever a woman is. And even if a woman is not prioritizing her fertility because she does not intend to have children, it's so important to focus on our fertility, because that is a reflector or a marker of health. So it can be women who are married, women who are single, and it really sets us up for this beautiful postpartum experience, as well as a future for a family that's radiantly healthy, and menopause and all these symptoms that women deal with in their 40s, 50s, 60s that are not normal. So it's for women, it's beginning with us, and then it's for her and for the other women to rewrite our story and change our destiny with respect to our reproductive health.
What are some specific things you're doing in the preconception era?
So the biggest thing is cleansing my body. We're exposed to so many different toxins, pollutants, pathogens in our day-to-day life. And those toxins begin to accumulate in our body and contribute to a toxic load. Now, that toxic load can contribute to symptoms. It can exacerbate symptoms. It can also lead to infertility and reproductive health issues. So when we cleanse our body, the more we cleanse, the more we heal. And when we create that cleansing, beautiful, radiant environment within, that sets up this beautiful foundation to nourish the baby, the fetus. And so for me, it's cleansing and it's removing toxic heavy metals, because those are such a factor for conception. And there's toxins from radiation or just exposure to radiation that impacts our fertility. So being mindful of the products I'm using, because there are so many products that we use in our personal care, our daily rituals, that actually have a lot of endocrine disruptors, which are hormone disruptors and different things that impact our physiology and our reproductive health. And there's so many things that it's important to consider. And it can feel like, wow, I didn't know all of this. And then I delved in, and it was kind of this rabbit hole.
Yeah. Yeah. Heavy metals are a big one. So, did you start with, when you're cleansing your home, your products, your foods, what were you stripping away that you were like, maybe something that you didn't realize that were loaded with heavy metals? I mean, I think people know now about deodorant, and, they're removing the aluminum-based deodorants from their lifestyle. But is there anything else you'd like to bring awareness to?
Even mascara can have different components, like different conventional makeup products can have lead or different chemicals. And it's so important to be aware of that. Some even, nail polish, paint thinner, and all of these different things. And those toxins they have volatile organic compounds that affect the liver and other harmful substances. Even perfumes can have all these synthetic chemicals that create all this disruption in the body and hormones.
Yes. And you know what? The mascara, I don't really think about the mascara, that it's hiding in there. It's lurking everywhere, it feels like, and it's unfortunate that women are often the target of this, because we do use more self-care products, makeups and things like that than anyone else. So
I
We get
know.
bombarded. Yeah.
We really
Is
do. And
is there anything in particular like for to get the heavy metals like out of your body? Like I know there's like chelation and there's different IVs and things that you can do. Is there anything you did specifically?
yes. One, before I go there, I just wanted to say estimated that the average woman applies around 500 chemicals a day. And that's just from the shampoos, the conditioners, the soaps, the perfume, the deodorant, all of these things that we apply. But some ingredients in there, one ingredient alone, like fragrance, can have 176 chemicals about. So it's so important to be aware of that cocktail of chemicals, because then that's impacting everything in our cycle and fertility. And just because, like, this is what I think about is it's sometimes those silent factors that are having the most detrimental effects, and these things we don't think about. So women are really impacted, especially because our cycle, when we're menstruating, our cycle, our immune system is lowered by 80%. And when we're ovulating, our immune system is lowered by 40%. So just having that in there for context is important. But for me, the thing that I've been doing the most consistently is the toxic heavy metal detox smoothie, which has these 5 key ingredients that work synergistically together to bind and successfully and effectively, safely eliminate toxic heavy metals. So a lot of things out there like the zeolite and all of these things that I tried that I did for a while, or certain clays that actually don't bind them and excrete the toxins or heavy metals successfully. Like they'll bind to them, but then they'll release them back into the body in a different location and then create secondary symptoms elsewhere.
Wow. What's in the smoothie? You do tell. Tell
Yes,
us
yes,
exactly
yes.
what you make.
I was just drinking it earlier and I'll show you here, but it's wild blueberries, banana. You can do some orange juice, a little fresh squeezed orange juice, cilantro, Atlantic dulse, which is a sea vegetable. And you want to make sure it's from the Atlantic Sea because the irradiation in the Pacific is more concentrated. So you want the Atlantic dulse, and then spirulina and barley grass juice powder and a little
And
coconut water.
this is medical medium.
This is medical
based on
medium.
medical. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So there's actually a restaurant near me. I'll give them a shout out, Christopher's Kitchen, and they do this exact smoothie. They sell this exact smoothie. And I am not disciplined enough to make it at home, but I do love to get it from them. Now, do you drink this every day?
I've been doing it every day for a few years now.
Wow. I do believe the smoothie does feel very like nourishing. It's very potent. The blueberries will like stain your mouth, stain your teeth. Like there's a lot. Well, because the blueberries, the dulse, and the spirulina, very, very like nutrient dense and rich in color, right?
Yeah.
Like
so dense.
Yeah.
Very pigmented.
Very pigmented, feels very earthy when you're drinking it. Yeah. So do you follow, because I am very familiar with Anthony Williams and his protocols and things. I have not actually done one from A to Z, but I do really respect and respect his knowledge. So have you followed him? Like, do you do a lot of other things? Do you do the celery juice, and what are some other things that you do?
So I do the celery juice. Before I even discovered medical medium, I started doing lemon water in the morning. I got really into Ayurveda and I was doing warm lemon water, which you don't want to do warm or hot lemon water because that heat actually kills the nutrients and the vitamin C from the lemon. So you want to do room temperature water or cold water. But then I discovered him because I was eating a high protein diet as my practitioner recommended. A lot of women were recommended to eat a high fat, high protein diet for our reproductive health, for our fertility, etc. And that actually made me so much worse. And so while I initially felt better, I didn't understand why. And because I was eating such a high fat, high protein diet, it was creating this adrenaline reaction in my body, plus the adrenaline from the animal meat and animal products I was consuming. And that created this feel good effect because of the steroidal properties, but it wasn't actually this health promoting lifestyle for me. So then I started getting worse. And a friend of mine actually shared medical medium with me. We were on the path to become medical doctors together. She pursued naturopathic medical school, and then I deferred and decided not to pursue medical school and created my own personalized PhD, but then found medical medium through her. And when I read that book, everything just kind of clicked. And I was like, this feels like pure truth, because I had tried so many different diets, so many different things that weren't working or appeared to be working. And I spent, like 7.5 years experimenting and learning and refining, and finding him. It was a game changer, because then I started cleansing, and he has this protocol and he talks about women's fertility. And it's estimated that in about 40 years, 50% of women of childbearing age will not be able to have babies. It brought a lot to light for me. And I was like, okay, this is part of my path for a reason.
Yeah. So interesting. So what do you eat? What are you eating in a day? I love to ask people this question, but I think because you have definitely done a deep dive into this, and you're also eating for fertility. And I think that's important to note, that even if you're not, hey, I am 45, I don't plan to have any more children, but eating in that way to just keep that, I don't know, keep that chi and that energy like still vibrant is also important for women. Don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's like, we want vibrant, radiant health, but then you look at the standard American diet, or you look at the conventional foods, right? And they're not health promoting. They're not radiance. So they're not radiant, vibrant foods. They're processed, they're packaged. And so for any woman, it's really important to focus on our adrenals and our liver, especially as we're in our 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. Like that aging, people want to look, and not just look good, but feel good. And that inner radiance, it's really cultivated from within. And so when we're nourishing our bodies and we're healing our liver, medical medium Anthony Williams speaks about how the liver is the fountain of youth. That's the organ that is the fountain of youth. And so anything that's hard on the liver is hard on the body, and it accelerates aging. So we want to be mindful of what we're consuming. And for me, I start off with the morning cleanse. So I do my lemon water, I do my celery juice, I do my heavy metal detox smoothie, and then I have a red apple. Like I've really incorporated this lifestyle in a way that feels good. But I eased into it, because before it felt so extreme to go from the way I was eating, which is more that I was still eating very healthy, but eating a lot more fat and a lot more animal products. And making the transition, I now do more smoothies, and I love the liver rescue smoothie. That's like one of my favorite smoothies. It has red
What's in that one? Tell us what's in that one.
There are a few variations. So one of the variations is wild blueberries and papaya and pitaya powder, like the red dragon fruit, and a little bit of water. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, that's that one. And then I love the one that's mango, banana, red pitaya powder, the dragon fruit, and sprouts, a little lime, like half a lime, a little stalk of celery, and some water. And it's delicious.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
I
like all
recommend
those
that.
things.
Yeah, that's amazing for women. It's amazing for aging. Like pitaya is so incredible. It's anti-aging. It's so rejuvenative for the liver and the adrenals. Incredible.
I've never seen the powder. I'll have to look for that.
Yeah.
I feel like I've always seen it just frozen, in the frozen food section, but yeah, I'll have to look for that powder. So, okay. So you kind of start out with the fruit and the celery and the smoothie. And then what do you do for the rest of the day?
So it depends. Like right now, I'm actually today's the 31st day I've done the raw cleanse. Like I've just done a raw cleanse. So I'm staying raw. And then normally what I'll do is I've gotten into the habit of having a smoothie at lunch. So whether that's the liver rescue smoothie or like a green smoothie with spinach and mango and strawberries, like there's this goddess glow smoothie I like that I've created for the skin, because I used to have a lot of acne and skin issues. So strawberries and spinach are incredible for acne and for the skin. So I would do that for lunch, but dinner is always like something nourishing, like some salad and sweet potatoes and vegetables. Like I love Brussels and sweet potatoes. I'll make lasagna with gluten-free rice noodles and marinara, or pesto and aubergine, like whatever is available. I really love to eat seasonally.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think that I love seasonal Like right now I'm eating a lot of cherries and, like I guess stone fruit,
Mhm.
plums, all that stuff is so vibrant right now. So are you vegan?
I am plant-based, yes. So
Plant-based. Okay.
I was pescatarian. I was doing that for a while, and then I transitioned to fully plant-based. And
Mhm.
I've been living a plant-based lifestyle for quite a few years now.
And so, I feel like protein is having such a conversation right now. Everyone's like, you've got to get enough protein. And I do think people are equating that with animal protein and myself included. And I was actually fully plant-based for years. And my diet has shifted, but I recently have been like, maybe I need to reevaluate what I'm doing. I've been focusing so hard on this protein factor that I think is maybe being overdone by people. I had a podcast recently and we were talking about how everyone's putting cottage cheese in everything because it's like adding protein. And it's like, is that really what we should be doing? I don't think so. I think it's like a little ridiculous at this point. But I'm wondering, how do you feel like you are nourishing your body through a plant-based diet, but and this is a common question, and I know people that are plant-based get very tired of hearing about it because myself included, but like, where are you getting your protein from? And I know like vegetables, there's protein hiding in a lot of different things that a lot of people don't expect either. So, but I just want to hear from you.
Of course. So I always love to ask the question because when I first told people I was vegan, they were like, well, where are you getting your protein? And it was such a concern. And that was maybe 6 years ago. And I would get so triggered and feel insecure. And I hadn't gone through the journey that I've gone through now. And I didn't have the radiant health as a testament to my lifestyle yet. So now I feel very confident, but it's also like, well, what is the largest land mammal that exists? Elephants. And what do elephants eat? Well, they eat leaves and grass and trees and plants. So the most bioavailable form of protein is actually in the form of leafy greens. They contain amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein. And so an analogy that I heard once is like, you're going to go to a tailor and you're going to get a dress made for yourself or an outfit, a suit, whatever it is. Now you go to the tailor and everything's custom made. You get to choose the building blocks for that piece, that suit, whatever it is you're having them create. Or you go to a consignment shop and you find this outfit you really love, but it's really oversized. And so you have to make all these alterations and there are all these scraps and all these bits that you can't use and you have to throw away. Now, when you're eating animal protein, the body will break it up. You have chymotrypsin and trypsin, these digestive enzymes to break up protein. But if we have a weak digestive system and low hydrochloric acid, they're not going to be as efficient. And so a lot of that protein gets caught and sits in the gut and rots and it starts to putrefy. And that creates a whole host of issues. But you're also not able, like your liver's not really able to create and synthesize the protein that the body actually needs, the bioavailable assimilable protein for the body. So when you're eating the leafy greens, you're eating the plants, you're eating the fruits because there are amino acids in fruits and carbohydrates in these different vegetables too. The liver can take those individual amino acids without trying to break them down into smaller peptides from protein, like animal protein, and synthesize the protein the body actually needs. And protein is so overemphasized. We think we need protein to be strong, to be healthy, but the primary fuel for the body is actually glucose.
So interesting. It's an interesting topic to talk about. Do you ever do like amino acid type supplements or anything like that? Like I've gotten into taking some of the amino acid, the body health amino acids. Do you do anything like that?
The only one I take is L-lysine.
Okay.
And I do that for the more antiviral properties that it possesses. But no, I feel like my diet has been varied enough that I'm getting those. And, another one is spirulina. Spirulina is 60% protein in its tri-weight form.
Yeah, and
So
it
it's
packs a
huge.
punch. So you're getting it every day in your smoothie. Are you eating it any other way? Or just
Sometimes
typically in the
just
detox?
typically in the smoothie. typically in the smoothie. And then sometimes I'll do a little coconut water and spirulina tonic.
Yes. Yeah. Someone once told me that spirulina, mango, like frozen mango and coconut water is like a good combination because, the spirulina is very earthy, right?
Oh,
That very earthy taste.
absolutely.
What is wellness architecture and lifestyle design?
Yes. So this has evolved. So embodied wellness is the premise. It's the body of work. And then wellness architecture and lifestyle design is the form that it's taken. So I love art. I love design. I wanted to be interior designer when I was younger. I love architecture. So wellness architecture and lifestyle design truly is about merging art and alchemy. It's bringing science and spirituality together. It's knowing that you have a unique body blueprint, a unique energetic blueprint, like a unique human design, and a unique soul blueprint. So when we understand your unique blueprint, we can then begin to architect the radiant health you desire and design a lifestyle that truly supports who you are becoming and who you aspire to be. And it's a customized experience where it's like you're your own best wellness architect.
So you do human design. Will you explain a little bit about what that is? I know my human design, but I know maybe a lot of people are not as familiar. So if you can explain what that is, because I do think that has a lot of, um, it can give you a lot of direction once you know what your human design is. Once I learned what that was and what I'm a generator, it all made sense to me. Like I felt like just in general, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm meant to be doing that, or I'm meant to be pursuing this, right? So if you can explain that.
Absolutely. Do you know
What
your
human-
profile lines?
So I'm a generator, and I know it gets like a little complicated.
Yeah. Do you remember your
You know,
numbers?
oh
Like a
gosh,
2,
I
4?
don't.
Okay. Okay.
I don't. I wish I did. I
No,
wish I
it's
did. I
okay.
could
You
ask
can
you
tell me
about it.
later. I'd love to know. Human design is the science of differentiation, and it's a scientific and spiritual system that gives you a unique blueprint for who you're here to be, who you're designed to be. And it's a compilation of the Hindu chakra system, quantum physics, genetics, the I Ching, which is this oracle book in traditional Chinese medicine, the Kabbalah, and astrology. And you populate your chart by inputting your birth details, your time, location, place, etc. and date rather. And then it populates this body graph chart and it reveals key elements of your personality, your energy type, how you're designed to operate and live and communicate, and how you're designed to make decisions, how you're designed to make things happen in your life. Signature theme of alignment when you're living in alignment with your design versus when you're not. And so I'm a 6-2 generator, a generator as well. So generators, our signature theme of alignment is satisfaction. Now, misalignment, our signature theme is frustration. So anytime we're feeling frustrated, it's like, ooh, that's a sign to come back into alignment. And often we're here to respond. So our strategy is how we make things happen in our lives, and we're here to respond. Now, that doesn't mean to wait to respond to stuff like invitations to come in, but respond to ideas, inspirations, thoughts. This was a breakthrough for me where we have these thoughts, like 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day, and we're responding to our thoughts. So if we're thinking thoughts that don't support us and don't motivate or empower us when we're responding to them, that can create more frustration. And then that vortex. So really human design reveals your personality and can illuminate how you're designed to work and what work environment works for you. Because projectors, they're here for efficiency and they're not defined in their sacral center like generators and manifesting generators. Now, they are doing their best work in 3 to 4 hour spurts, not 9-hour days. Generators, when we're doing what we love, we're responding to that and creating more energy. So we're known as like the worker bees or the builders, and we can get really obsessed. Like generators, we're here for mastery. So we're here to focus on what we love, and that generates more joy, more satisfaction. And that is so contagious. And other people, what I love about human design is we complete one another. So your chart has certain centers, certain elements, channels that are defined and undefined, and mine does too. So when we overlay everyone's human design chart, we complete each other. And so when we come together, you're borrowing my gifts and I'm borrowing your gifts, and we amplify one another, and you can borrow certain things that I have and I can borrow certain traits and qualities and strengths that you have. And it's so beautiful how we're all designed to connect and collaborate in that way.
I love that. So for people that don't know, it's generators, manifesting generators, projectors, and
Manifestors and reflectors.
manifestors and reflectors. Okay, so there's 5. Okay,
Yeah.
I was thinking there was 4. So you gave some traits of generators and projectors, but what about some of the other 3 if you want to touch on? Because, well, I guess, you'd have to get your human design done so and it's a very interesting process because you are using your birth time and your date, the location of your birth.
Yes.
But to have someone do that, if you're into astrology, I feel like human design is a perfect accompaniment to it. So yeah, if you'll go through the 5 and maybe give an idea of what each one is like.
Yes. So you have your generators and manifesting generators, which are sacral, and they have the sacral center defined, and that's the key characteristic, right? So our signature theme of alignment is satisfaction. So what does satisfaction mean to you? When do you feel most satisfied? What makes you feel satisfied? And then misalignment is frustration. What situations, experiences, conversations, things make you feel most frustrated? That alone can change everything. Just knowing our signature theme of alignment and misalignment. Then for our projectors, our signature theme of alignment is success. So what does success mean to you? And when do you feel most successful? What makes you feel successful? Signature theme of misalignment is bitterness. What makes you feel bitter? Where? Situations, people, etc. Then for manifestors, our signature theme of alignment is going to be peace. What is peace to you? What feels peaceful? What creates that sense of peace within? And then the signature theme of misalignment is anger. What makes you feel angry? When do you feel angry? What context? And manifestors, projectors, and reflectors are non-energy types. So they don't have that sacral motor center defined. So they need more time and space to decompress and spend time alone to reconnect to themselves. And finally, reflectors, which comprise 1% of the population. These are the rarest, but they are essentially undefined or open in all of their centers. So they're reflecting back the health and the state of the community and the world. And their signature theme of alignment is surprise. And what does that feel like? And then that can be anything. And then the signature theme of misalignment is disappointment. So noticing what makes you feel disappointed, where do you feel disappointed in your life, and different things like that can reveal where we're in alignment, and just noticing when we're feeling good, like the people we're with, the situations, the environments. Environment is huge for us. So knowing those aspects of ourselves, and you can go to mybodygraph.com and populate your free chart, and it'll give you a little insight. And it's so complex and so deep, but just dipping your toes in, if it feels like it's resonant, it'll reveal so much. And it's just this guide for how you're designed to live.
Yeah, I think it did resonate with me a lot. Actually, someone gave me a human design reading for my birthday a couple years ago, and I had never heard of it. And I was like, and of course, I had always been into astrology and my own, birth chart and everything like that. But how it coordinates, it was really interesting. And being a generator, knowing that I get energy, I could be working all day long, but if I am getting energy and I feel lit up by what I'm doing, I can continue. Now, the moment I feel like I am not being fed by what I'm doing or like getting energy from it, I shut down and I want nothing to do with it. Do you feel that same way?
I just like the frustration is there, and I have no energy and I don't want to do. And the funny thing is that generators, this is like the paradox, because we don't like to quit. When we've committed something, we commit. But even if it's something that we've said yes to that was really a no, that creates frustration, but then it feels hard to quit. So we keep doing the thing, but that creates more of that frustration and that no energy. And then the things that are aligned with us can't come in because we haven't created that space.
And so just because you're the same astrological sign as someone does not mean you're going to be the same human design. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So what is your astrological sign?
I am a Pisces.
Oh, okay.
Yes. What is yours?
I'm a Taurus.
Okay. Yeah.
Taurus, Virgo rising, Pisces moon though.
Interesting. So I'm a Virgo rising
Oh,
and Aquarius moon.
okay. Okay. Yeah. The Virgo in us, we like detail too. Right. A lot
Totally.
of
The
detail.
detail, the perfectionism can come in.
Yes. Yeah. The perfectionism that we try to keep at bay
I
for
know.
sure.
Yeah.
um, what was that? mybodygraph.com to
Hmm.
get your chart. I think you should get your chart. I think, knowing that, is really beneficial. And I think everyone should find out what their human design is. I think it's so interesting.
I
Um,
agree.
I have recently seen on your social media that you are working on like a worthy, wealthy woman program. So I'd like to know what that's about and how wealth comes into play with health and why you are approaching it in that way.
Of course. So this is something that's so funny. I didn't plan to be mentoring on, but one of my mentors said, I have a feeling you'll be mentoring on wealth soon in the future. And I always knew that I would be. I just didn't know how that would play out. And I didn't realize it would be this soon. So for me, health is the greatest wealth, as Virgil says. And I've been so focused on creating that foundation of health that I've seen so many people create massive wealth at the expense of their health. So they've attained massive wealth and now they are spending that wealth to regain their health. And I believe you can build both simultaneously. Instead of building your health without that wealth or building your wealth at the expense of your health, you get to build both. And so we are in the most transformational time with our financial system, with these different political systems and structures. And we are undergoing a whole reconfiguration in our financial system. And cryptocurrency has been around for some time, but it's not just conspiracy. It's what I call a divine prophecy. It's the foundation. It's not speculation any longer. And so we're moving out of the speculative market where it was really volatile and people were really leery of it and they felt afraid or intimidated and it's too risky, it's too volatile, whatever it is. Cryptocurrency is becoming the foundation. It's the next iteration of the evolution of money and currency. And so we're seeing that the infrastructure has already been set. Now we're in the regulation phase. We're seeing the Genius Act passed. We're seeing all of these things happen where they're now tokenizing real estate on the blockchain. They're doing all of these things and everything's transitioning into this digital age. And our system, our traditional financial system has been one that's very antiquated, very slow moving and costly and all of these different things. And we're in this quantum era of everything's moving faster and crypto is quantum. And so I had felt really called to crypto about 5.5 years ago, but didn't follow the intuition to enroll in this mentorship with a mentor and her crypto mentor. And then last year I felt the call to crypto again. And so I set the intention, began seeking a mentor and then found a mentor, found multiple mentors. And so I'm in 3 masterminds myself and have been immersed in the cryptocurrency space and have found it to be so transformational and empowering. And for me as a woman, I've always felt like, oh, I'm not as financially literate, or, we hold these stories of like, oh, I'm not good with money, or the worthiness wound and not feeling worthy and all of these things. And so I've just come to find that there's a huge opportunity. The greatest wealth transfer of our time is taking place. And if we're positioned correctly, we can be on that leading edge to create a legacy, to create generational wealth, to create generational health. It's all coming together in this way. And so I created a free masterclass called Decrypted, Decoding Crypto. And people responded so well to that because I'm not just bringing in crypto, I'm bringing in energetics and human design. And it's a journey of becoming. It's not just about getting wealthy. It's about who you become and the becoming that's so important. And so it's been this journey of sharing what I've learned, knowing that I am still learning. And so this mastermind is a place where we come and we're looking at our identity and our beliefs and all of these things around money and then learning to invest in crypto and learning the new system because the media has distracted us from what's really going on. And we've been conditioned to believe that it's risky and to not get in. But our fiat system, the current value of our dollar, it's an inflationary asset. So it has no inherent value. It's not backed by anything, and it's decreased in value 99% over time. And they infinitely print more and more and more of it.
This is like, so I feel like I'm one of those people that knows nothing about it. And it recently came up in another podcast. It would briefly touched on it. And, all I really know of crypto is I feel like I see those people on Instagram that are like, follow me for crypto tips or whatever. That just feels like it could be, because I don't know enough about it, that I always had it in my mind like, oh, it is too risky, or this is not something that I would, be interested in. But I do agree with you that everything from what I hear is, it's all changing, and it's scary, but yet, I guess I am intrigued by it and wanting to learn more, and also feeling like I'm with what you were saying, that as a woman, feeling like, oh, well, I'm not the one that's going to be doing that. My husband would be, doing that or learning about that, but learning more about investing and taking charge of your finances, and that overall theme, I think, is so important for women. Just having a better grasp on your future, your finances, and all of that. So I think that's great work that you're incorporating into your wellness program, because financial wellness is also very important.
Exactly. It's one of those elements that impacts our well-being and our health in so many ways. So it's important. And I know it can feel hard, but like anything at first that was new and unfamiliar, it feels hard. And when we immerse ourselves in something and start to learn, we open up new neural networks and new neural pathways, and it begins to become easier as we immerse ourselves. So I know it can feel intimidating and like a lot, but the truth is there's this freedom of taking that responsibility and that ownership of, I'm going to learn this for me because it's my future. It's my wellness. It's my financial well-being. It's here.
Aside from cryptocurrency, are you doing anything to kind of change maybe some stories you had in your head about yourself and finances?
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Because, we have this money blueprint, just like we have a body blueprint. And once we understand our body codes and we can recode our body for radiance and create radiant health, we have a money blueprint. And so that money blueprint can be activated to create abundant wealth. And we just get to understand the different components of that blueprint. So our stories, our identities, the wounds around money, or the beliefs we've held about money. And, it's interesting. It's in this book, Conversations with God, Neil Donald Walsh is in conversation with God, and God says, you experience what you expect. And so look at what we've been experiencing in our lives with respect to money or wellness or whatever it is. Well, look at what we've been expecting then. What do we expect? Oh, that money is hard to make. You have to work really hard. You can't receive. You have to give. All of these narratives. And it's so important to go back and question that, because anything that we don't question and recode, it just becomes this belief that perpetuates and creates a reality that we may not want, but unconsciously we've subscribed to a narrative or a belief. So I've done a lot of that with mentors in the past over the years, of looking at my money story and looking at what I believe to be true and how do I feel about money and the receiving of money, and just being able to receive and not have to prove my worth and feel like, oh, I have to do more and give more to show that I'm worthy and to receive it.
Yeah, I think the money stories, we all talk about traumas and maybe things that you experienced when you were younger, but I do think the financial piece of what you believe does come from your parents, and it comes from how you saw money as a child. Like, I do really think that is a very deeply rooted experience that you have. And I know that. I feel like I know that personally, but also, and then my money stories are different than my husband's money stories. And then, you're like, you're really trying to work out what is going to be your money story as a partnership. Right. So I think that work is so important. And is there something that you do? Because I have done my own set of mantras or affirmations surrounding money. Is that something that you do? Or are there other things that you do to kind of rewrite that money story?
Absolutely. So I have found like certain affirmations don't always like, it's not registering. It's like, what is my subconscious actually believing? And so I've been doing a lot of the subconscious reprogramming, because what the subconscious mind believes, it then sends to the ego, and the ego creates evidence of it. So what I've been doing is like really speaking to the subconscious mind and saying like, subconscious mind, you are, because when we speak the subconscious, we want to use you. I am wealthy. If that doesn't feel like resonance in our body, and sometimes it's a lot of nervous system regulation too, because the nervous system is going to open and expand when it feels safe. But if money up until this point has not felt safe, you're not going to then attract it into your life, because your body, your nervous system is designed to keep you safe. So why are you going to create and attract something that doesn't make you feel safe? So there's that nervous system regulation, but also what are we coding into the subconscious mind? And so you can speak to your body and say, body, show me what it feels like to embody the frequency of wealth. Because wealth is a frequency. Wealth isn't just about the money. It's not just about the having of money. It's how you feel, and it's who you are. It's a frequency, and money is simply an amplifier, and it magnifies who you are. It's a mirror, and it reflects and reveals aspects of ourselves and beliefs. And so when we begin to go deeper and really do that subconscious programming, we can then open to be more receptive and create that evidence of, okay, money gets to come to me with more flow, with more ease. And I love that when we're using the manifestations or the affirmations, we want to code it with that. I love that that's happening, because it's good for me. It's good for the world. It's good for me to be a channel of money, and money is the currency, and currency is like the current. It's divine. It's designed to flow and be circulated.
Yes. Yes, I love that. I love that explanation of the energy, because if you think about it like that, as an energy or a frequency that you can tap into, right? That I don't know, it just for me it did help my own preconceived stories about money, that this is an energy. This is that you want to be generous, because that generosity and that abundance will come back to you, right? Was like one thing, like, so you want to put that abundance into circulation and be a part of that energy flow.
Absolutely. Because
Pretty powerful.
it's so powerful. It's like,
Yeah.
ooh, like, okay. And how are we receiving money? How do we receive compliments, especially as women? Do we deflect it? Do we say, oh, thank you, I love you, and we just receive the compliment, but return a compliment right away instead of really receiving it? What is our
Yes.
relationship to receiving? And the feminine energy, because the masculine energy paradigm has been do more to have the wealth, to then be happy. But it's actually be happy, be grateful now, and then take aligned action and do from that place of alignment. And then you'll have, the be, do, have instead of do, have, be. So different now. And the feminine energy is the receptive, receiving energy.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. What else do you want to leave the audience with about being an embodied woman and doing what you do as a wellness and lifestyle architect? Would love to hear more.
Yes, I would just love to leave the listeners with knowing and remembering that their body is the source of their power, and that they can and will heal, and they can recode their body for radiance, that radiant health is possible for you too. I think we get so caught up in seeing someone have something that we desire, and instead of seeing it as evidence that it's possible for us too, we get triggered and feel like it's not. And so know that wherever you are on your journey is not where you're going. Like the number on the scale is not determining where you're going. The number in the bank account does not determine where you're going and what's possible. That where you are right now is simply a part of your path. And there's something in your becoming journey that's here to learn and to glean wisdom from. It's not this fixed point, that you are growing, you are evolving, and there's something deeper at play. And to remember that you have so much power, and that you can heal, that you can create and live the life that you desire, because you are the architect of your beliefs, of your wealth, of your health, of your life.
I love that. This was such an interesting conversation. I feel like human design, the food element, and also the money aspect, like this was fantastic.
This
And
was.
I love your feng shui of all your plants behind you too. It's so beautiful.
Thank you. You know, all those vines that you're seeing come from one plant.
Wow.
Plant that's situated up here above me, and it's taken over. It's so happy.
It's like all over the whole room.
It is. I know.
Okay, so because I'm not a plant whisperer and it seems like you are you talking to your plants? Like, what are you doing?
That's so
You
funny
get a
you
lot
say
of
that.
natural light in there.
Well, the light definitely helps because I was living in a place before that didn't have a lot of natural light, and I felt like I was the plant killer. And now it's like, oh, I water my plants and they do respond. Like I did name a few of my plants at one point and they've responded. I was like, oh, okay, this is very fascinating. But no, I love plants and I've always loved plants and I always just felt that. But I feel like it's a lot of the lights.
Yes. No, it looks beautiful. I love it. I love it.
Thank you. Well,
Anna, thank you so much for being with me today. If you'll shout out where people can find you and connect with you.
absolutely. Thank you. It's been such a pleasure. You can find me on annafink.com. That's ANNAFINCK. And you'll find my Instagram at I am Anna Fink. And those are my favorite places to be, on Instagram, and I'll be on Facebook as well. So wherever you land, I am excited to connect with you and walk on this journey of becoming the wealthy, healthy individuals that we're designed to be.
I love it. Thank you so much, Anna.
Thank you, Kimberly. It's a pleasure.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of The Cinnamon Effect. If you enjoyed our time together, don't forget to hit that follow button on your podcast app and sprinkle a little love by leaving us a 5-star rating and a quick review. Your support means the world to me. For even more goodness, check out the show notes where you'll find links to some of my favorite products. And don't forget to visit thecinnamoneffect.com to connect with me directly or to grab your TCE gratitude journal, your next step towards a more grateful life. I can't wait to spice things up with you again next time. Stay vibrant, stay inspired, and remember to add a little cinnamon to your life every day.